Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 5 of South Literacy Podcast. My name is Tabang.
If I have an opportunity to talk about or to add to what people are talking about to the conversation.
Or to help out a Eucharist.
Say that again?
Say that again?
Or to help out a Eucharist.
A what?
Eucharist. I've been saying that name the whole week.
Just that I
No, you have.
We just
just
arrived.
arrived.
It's
Just
Eutychus.
Oh, you take us.
I say Eucharist. Eutychus, man.
Yeah.
In the book of Acts.
The book of Acts.
You come across.
Nah, I look like I don't read my damn Bible.
Yeah, he was in the book of Acts.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Heavy. Oh, gosh. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 5 of South Literacy Podcast. My name is Tabang. I'm not alone today. I am with Heavy D.
What's up, dog?
What do you call yourself again? Friend of the show?
I'm becoming the furniture.
No, I feel like we're going to change that title.
Yeah, no, it's gotta go. It's gotta go.
Yeah.
It's gone.
What title?
Friend of the show.
Oh,
I used to be friend
you're
of the show.
furniture now, right?
Yeah, but it's gone.
I just feel like he's co-host of the show.
I am definitely co-hosting.
You definitely are.
I am.
I think so.
Well, you know, I am definitely co-hosting.
100%. So big shout out to you.
Thank you so much.
Is
I'm
something
here now.
bothering you?
No, I just thought like I have an echo. I don't know. I'm not used to being ghosty, so
Yeah.
So
I got you.
But
Sorry, man.
Am I fine?
Yes.
Okay, then we're absolutely fine.
100%.
Let's rock.
Also here with my guy here. I think you do an intro. I'm not going to introduce yourself. You maybe tell the people who you are, what you are about, and then we'll take it from there.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Choki. I don't know. The about situation is not. I'm not like a specific kind of. I am a specific kind of a person, but I just don't have like things that I won't say like I'm a philanthropist or
An influencer.
or
Got you.
I just talk to the people that I can talk to.
No, that's beautiful. That's good.
That I can trust with my thoughts.
Yeah.
That being my friends or wherever I find myself. So if I have an opportunity to talk about or to add to what people are talking about to the conversation.
Or to help out a Eucharist.
Say that again.
Say that again?
Or to help out a Eucharist.
A what?
Eucharist. I've been saying that name the whole week.
Just that I
No, you have.
We just
just
arrived.
arrived.
It's
Just
Eutychus.
Oh, you take us.
I say Eucharist. I'm like,
Eutychus?
I'm even thinking,
is
are you
Eutychus?
speaking about like a
You don't know.
Lamborghini?
You don't know anything about Eutychus.
guys,
I will school you about Eutychus.
This is a point where you guys tell me
Eucharist.
what is that?
Eucharist or Icarus. I'm thinking Icarus who flew too close to the sun. We're actually talking about Eutychus. We were talking about him last week.
Eutychus, man.
Yeah.
In the book of Acts.
In the book of Acts.
You
Yeah.
come across.
Nah, I look like I don't read my damn Bible.
Yeah, he was in the book of Acts.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Heavy. Oh, gosh.
Fell out the window.
In the book of Acts, Paul is preaching in the upper room, and there's a guy called Eutychus
Or the guy who fell asleep.
who fell asleep.
Oh,
and
I-
That's the guy.
you know him.
And
Yeah,
then
definitely
Paul
know
said,
him.
You know him.
yeah.
So what's this about?
That's the dopeness of God.
Are
actually.
Eucharist?
Anyway,
Hey, my man.
Are you thinking of licorice?
I'm thinking of oh my man, because it's food. So I'm always thinking about food. No, I was thinking about Icarus, the guy who flew too close to the sun. Remember him?
I hear you.
Yeah, Greek mythology. Something way off topic. Like, let's go.
How you guys doing?
Easy, brother. You?
I'm cool. I'm a bit nervous. This is the first time I do this.
Yeah.
The last time I spoke on the radio was in 2007.
It was a long time.
Grade 7.
Yeah.
That's a long time. Yeah, man.
Yeah, that was a long time. Wasn't that Tuso?
Definitely
No,
Tuso.
I think I don't.
But
it
Tukana.
probably it was Daddy Tuso.
It feels like
the
another
person
Tuso
before
segment.
the drive show is he does
Daddy
the lunch
Tuso.
show,
Definitely
right?
Daddy
Yeah,
Tuso.
Daddy Tuso. No, the lunch show. Yeah. It was Daddy Tuso. I think we were doing. I went to a Fifth World Summit as like so. There were two kids chosen from our school.
Yeah.
It was me and some girl called Rabaon, and then we went to Pretoria. No, Johannesburg. And then the Filth World Summit was there, and then we went there, and then we had to do a. You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Loud and clear,
Yeah,
bro.
we had to do a like not a review, man, but just a how was it? How was it? And
That's
then
dope.
You had to go
Yeah.
tell the people.
Yeah, but it's always amazing being on radio. Now, like the behind. Because one thing I'm gonna tell you, after you sit in that seat and you're done, you're gonna be so addicted to the microphone. It gets you going.
Let's see.
I'm telling
Let's
you.
see.
Yeah.
Let's
gets
see.
you going.
I hope so. Let's see.
Okay, let's see.
Let's
Okay.
see.
Anxious.
Yeah.
You're
Sorry?
anxious. You're saying you're nervous.
Yeah, he's quite.
I am a bit because, like I said in the beginning, I only
I think
trust.
your cans are going to help you hear us better. Just by the way, you can have one ear on.
Okay.
If
It's
that's gonna
probably
make-
gonna help with the nerves as well.
Yeah. Nah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Told you.
So, because I'm only used to sharing my thoughts in a control space.
Yeah.
So if it was just the three of us without the camera or the cameras, it would be cool, right? But because is with the cameras, like I don't have control of who hears this,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, I think yeah, that's what's making it a low. But I think as time goes on, I'll get used to
should
it.
be
I'll just
fine.
forget. Yeah.
You know what I always say before you jump in with what's on offer today. Speak your truth, brother. Like if you speak the truth, you can never go wrong with the truth. The minute you're trying to be cool and you're not speaking your truth, you are in trouble.
Why are you looking at me? Bro?
No, I don't know.
This
right?
guy's looking at me like I'm a genie with a wand.
No, I just want to understand
The truth,
Let's
brother.
go. Let's
It's gonna
go.
set
I
you
hear
free.
you.
Let's do
But
this.
yeah, I'm pretty excited actually. to do
Yeah.
I
this.
love it, love it, love it.
Yeah.
Lovely to have you here, man. My
Thanks
week,
for the
my,
invite.
my week was great. Very busy. I had an incident on Monday at the gym.
Did you fall?
Okay.
I didn't fall,
Mm-hmm.
but something fell on me. So I was doing my
Is-
chest.
Is
Don't you have like a what's it called?
A spotter.
a spotter.
Yeah.
So we were using the Smith machine. So it's like an assisted machine.
Oh, okay. And then it
Right.
broke.
So it has like hooks, and you hook it to lock it. So I thought I'd actually locked the machine, but I didn't.
Jeez.
And then it fell on top of my chest. He's laughing.
I'm not laughing.
Like, wow.
I'm not laughing.
Why
I'm
would
not
you-
laughing.
why
I'm
would
not
you laugh?
laughing.
Good question.
You
Why?
don't have. Do you not know the pain of?
I'm sure it's bad, but I'm not laughing. That's what I'm saying is
What
I
did you
was,
say?
I was shocked.
Do you not know the I didn't say anything. Do you not know the pain of something?
I mean, I'm sure it's bad. I
But-
just don't know it, but I'm not laughing. I'm sympathizing with my brother.
No, you're not. He's not. He's not
He's not.
sympathizing with me.
He's not. He laughed first.
Just
But
be
it's fine.
careful.
It's okay.
Be careful next time.
It's okay. So I had a thought the other day. I think it was Thursday or Wednesday. So the podcast has two offerings. So we have Self Literacy Podcast,
Yeah.
which is what we're shooting right now, very interactive, etc. And then we have the Self Moments. So Self Moments are very compact, and normally I'm alone there,
Yeah.
and I just reflect on certain things. Now, the other day when I was shooting Self Moments, something came to me, and that is, don't let people put their two on you.
Come on, boy.
I don't know if you get what that means, Heavy.
No. Break it down.
So often people project their limitations on us. So when I talk about letting people put their two on you, often you would hear, Heavy, you're too ambitious. Chalky, you're too driven. You dream too
You gotta
much.
calm down.
You have too many goals. You know that too. Has something like that ever happened to you?
I'll go first on this one before
Yeah.
you, Chucky. One thing I've noticed, it has happened to me, yes. And hang out that you're gonna find it from the closest people to you, of course. It's gonna be somebody next to you, very next to you. That's gonna.
I like that he says that because remember what happened with David's brothers. Even Joseph, I think we can actually rope him in. It's always like the people closest to
right
you.
there, dog. You know, right there, dog. Because I was watching a movie just last night.
Yeah?
This lady's trying to become an engineer. The movie is called Hidden Figures. So this lady's trying to...
2013.
2013.
Yeah.
This lady, is it 2013 or 15? I'm not even sure.
No, 2016, sorry.
2016, yeah?
Yeah.
So this lady's trying to become an engineer, and the husband is like to her. And I get emotional when I watch movies.
Talking
like that. I
about
don't know why.
Taraji P. Henson, just by the way.
All right. So the other lady who I'm talking about is the rapper chick, Janae Monet. Yeah, that one. So
She a rapper.
Yeah, she's a
an
singer
artist.
rapper. She's an artist. She also raps.
No, she sing. Okay, but alright, let's
Yeah,
go.
she also raps.
I
Also
hear
sings.
you.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, the husband in the movie is discouraging her in a way and saying to her, "You cannot be too ambitious because you're black and you want to become something in a time whereby it's not going to be allowed. You're a black woman who wants to be an engineer at NASA. The person right next to you is the one most of the times who's going to give you your tools."
Okay.
I'm hearing you.
So it just got me going. Like, yeah, I think a lot of us have gone through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you haven't gone through it, chances are you're gonna go through it somewhere down the line. But a lot of us have gone through twos.
100%. Chalky, what's been your experience?
I'm hearing that, but geez, I want to take it a little step further, but I don't want to. I think the next to you, I hear you, right? But I think it's normally the people who knows you the best, right?
Exactly.
So you'd get that from the people you least expect that to
Exactly.
come from, right?
Hey, let my teacher. I'm so sorry. Continue, brother.
Because they feel like they know you, right? But we can go back to this, right? We can go back to this conversation. I want to talk about, and I'm not trying to stray away from the conversation, but sometimes it's the tools we put on ourselves,
Of course.
right? Because if we can go to the biblical figures, then right, Jeremiah chapter 1, where he tells God, "But I'm too young to be doing what you want me to do," right?
Moses.
Or when I'm too slow of speech, right?
Gideon.
Right, like, kind of what did Gideon say? I'm the least. I'm the least of
Yeah.
mine. So this goes back to you will always behave in a way that's consistent with how you see yourself, right? That's very important then. You always behave. We're gonna go back to people doing this. You always behave in a way that's consistent with how you see yourself. This is why God does God makes sure or does a whole lot of work trying to affirm you, to tell you who you are, right?
Yeah.
Not because he needs to tell you, but you need to hear it,
Yeah.
right? He knows what he put in you, but you need to know what he put in you, right? So it takes a whole lot to distance yourself, especially if you have turned like a negative personality trait into who you are, into an identity, right? So you will say stuff like, "But I am too shy to be speaking to people," right? Or like I said from the beginning of the show, like when I said, like,
You're
I'm
nervous.
I'm nervous, right? So it's the stuff that you put on yourself. I'll even go as far as saying, remember the spies that were sent to the land and they were told that go see what the land looks like, and then they said, we were grasshoppers.
We were like
in our own
grasshoppers, yeah.
You understand? So I think it's sometimes it's the tools that we put on ourselves because we don't think that we are who God tells us to be, right?
That imposter syndrome.
So,
yeah.
So if you check, even in Joshua, I don't mean to turn this into a preaching situation, but he
No,
said
do your thing, brother.
the podcast is about faith as well. So if you check in Joshua chapter 9, God tells Joshua to be strong and courageous a couple of times, sometimes a verse in between, right? Because he needs to remember who he is. So it is important then to know who you are, right? And then to make sure that who you are aligns with what God says about you. Therefore, when people try to put their two on you, it's easy, especially if their twos does not align with what God says about you. Then you can say, you can't put your limitations on me because you feel limited in that area. Because people feel limit. People that there are people who maybe are your sorry to speak, maybe your size of like the body, who will say you can't bench press 20 because they can't at your size also.
Yeah.
They can only do 5 because they just see you where you at, they feel like you also can't because I can't. So don't let people. I don't think people should project. You should let people, because people are gonna do whatever the hell they want. But I don't think you should let people project how they see themselves on you just because they
Limited.
they limited. Now they see they need to limit you. So this goes back to know yourself, and then if you have a 2 on you that you've put on you, that's not consistent with, or that's just doing you bad, man. Like, there are things about you that are not so good, or that are self-sabotaging that you should change. So change those, and then I think I'm making sense. I think I'm going on.
Yes, you are. You're making sense.
Oh yeah. I'm doing
I don't know why you're
bunch of
doubting
talking.
yourself, though.
I'm doing a whole bunch of talking. It's just that there's a whole.
No, but it's connecting. I mean, you can do a bunch of talking and you could speak a whole lot of nonsense, but what you're saying, it's hammering through. So you're making a lot of sense. You have to make sure that you're confident, so that you don't break. When those tools come, they can easily break you. What my man is saying, like, because you know how it is, especially when it's somebody you know, somebody that's close to you, especially if somebody you look up to, and then they tell you, my man, you will not be able to do it. You're too ambitious. You're doing too much. Relax. What do? You calm it down because you've been told this by somebody else.
Yeah.
And then like my man is saying, you start looking in what's within you, and then you realize, okay, fine, maybe this person is right. Cause what we talked about a while back is that imposter syndrome hovering all over you as well. You understand? So when that comes in, and then you get those tools coming in, it's over.
I think it's a thing of self-awareness. I think, and self-awareness a lot of the times has to do with identity. When you are anchored in who you are, right? Self-awareness sort of like becomes in a car you'd have, like, especially when you watch these movies, Fast Too Furious, whatever the case may be, these guys normally would have like a button when they're racing.
Yeah.
And after some time they press it. And what happens?
They move faster.
They move faster. So when you are anchored in your identity, self-awareness becomes that button. So if should anything happen, if somebody comes, because you are self-aware,
Press the button.
you know what I mean? Whatever they say, it's just like, whatever. You continue moving forward no matter what. In fact, one could say that you just become faster in whatever it is that you're doing. I know I've always taken that as fuel. When someone comes to me and says, no, you can't do this, or you can't do that, I'm just like, but who are you to tell me that? One story, and I mean, obviously the first instinct when it comes to our parents is to protect us, right? I remember when I won my first radio award, right? When I won A Touch of Tabang, so best night time for A Touch of Tabang. My graduation was on the Friday. I think it was in April. I just can't remember the dates, but I remember my graduation was on the Friday, and then the awards were on Saturday in Sandton.
Yeah.
So my dad and my uncle had traveled to Bloemfontein for my graduation, and I said to them, I'm going to go back with them on Friday so I can get to spend time with family. And then I just meet up with the team on Saturday in Sandton, right? Because the company had booked us accommodation. So cool. They come to Bloem. We leave Bloem, come to Johannesburg. I spend time with the family. The following day, the Saturday, I leave. So dad requests an Uber for me. The Uber comes. And as I leave, my dad says, and he was not projecting anything. It was just a parental instinct, to say, hey, man, no matter what happens, it's okay, But I remember as I was getting into the Uber, he said to me, even if you don't win, it's fine. That parental instinct, once again. And I said to him, no, Dad, I'm going to win. And he was like, no, it's fine. If you don't win, it's fine. And I said, no, I'm going to win. And I remember we had the ceremony later in the evening. Once we got, the MC, once he got to our category, because they start with community or campus community, and then they get to commercial,
Commercial,
right?
yeah.
I think at the time PBS was not there, so your public broadcasters were not there. So it was just three categories: community, campus, or campus community, and commercial. So they do a community, they do campus, and they get to commercial. And I remember I was sitting on this side of the table. My manager was on the other side, right? David Gau was the MC, and he says the winner is right, and it says a touch of Tabang.
You lost your mind, boy.
Dog, never mind that. My manager was sitting on the other side. This guy, in a split second, he's Greek. So you know these guys are very affectionate,
Very.
kiss, blah 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 blah. I don't know how this guy, in a split second, got from that side of the table to me to come and embrace me and hug me, etc. You know, and I remember going up on the stage and I said a really potent speech.
Come on, boy.
Somebody recorded it, sent
You
it to
ever
me.
not been potent?
I'm flattered. But yeah, I said a very potent speech, and I remember saying that the benchmark for most things in life is set so low that so many of us grow up thinking that some things are unattainable or out of our
Awesome.
league.
That's true,
right?
brother.
But the minute we get off our asses and work to make our dreams a reality, we then start to realize that, hey, anything in the world is possible.
A movie.
The only thing restricting us is our mindset and our work ethic. And so we need to put ourselves in spaces that challenge our entire being so that we can constantly grow and change our perspective. You know what I mean? And so if I believe that if I'm saying stuff like that, chances are I believe those things.
Facts.
So if you come here and you tell me, hey, you're trying to put limitations on me, I'm not going to believe that at all. But that starts with identity. That starts with being self-aware.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So that's been like one of the ways I've combated like people's limitations. When people come and they say this and that and the other, I'm like, okay, cool, I hear you, right? But I'm not going to listen to that.
Yeah, you're not shaking me.
I'm not going to listen to
got
that
this.
because also the God you see is a God you get,
Yeah.
right? The God you see is the God you
This is
get,
the God you get.
and that's how I live my life. That the God you see is the God you get.
Yeah.
But what you gentlemen are saying is exactly how you combat the twos. Because what you're saying, my brother, sometimes it's not coming from a bad place.
No, it's not.
Motswadi being a Motswadi. You
Yeah.
understand? Just coming from that, oh, look, my baby, I don't want you to come here all broken if you don't win. But whatever happens, I love you.
100%.
You're gonna be. You understand? That's beautiful. In fact,
Yeah.
that's
It's a
understandable.
protective
affirmation.
instinct.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But for you to go forward in life, for you to grow as a human being, for you to grow as a man, you have to make sure that you're self-aware and you're confident in yourself enough to say, look, this is how God is shaping my life,
Yeah.
and this is how I'm going to follow suit.
Yeah, I hear you. Speaking of, I don't know if you wanted to jump in. On
No.
that.
I'm cool.
You cool?
Yeah.
Speaking of like being self-aware, what do you guys think of this saying? And I'm just transitioning now. Heavy, we forgot to do something. You were supposed to finish your test, and we were supposed to share it with the people, but it's fine. It's okay. So there's a test he did on the previous episode.
Okay.
The Clifton Strength Test.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you want to like realize some of your strengths, your top strengths, you need to do that
I need
test.
to do it as well.
So yeah, I also want to do it again. So we need to do that.
We'll do it.
Yeah. So as I was saying, speaking of just being self-aware, what do you guys make of the statement that isolation is elevation?
I want you to jump on first.
Yeah, you was gonna say something like that.
but because I have a lot to say about that, but I want you to jump on
No,
first.
you lie.
Isolation is
Trust me.
Isolation is elevation. And now we're moving into relationships.
okay.
Yeah.
Look, bruh, I'm for
'Cause I'm
isolation to a certain degree, right? Because I feel like, yeah.
Come with it.
I feel like sometimes with the world of social media and everything,
Yeah.
to a certain degree, we don't want to be bored, right? So there's always something. There's something that's always entertaining you. Whether you're in a shower, you're listening to music, if you were alone, you were probably would have been watching in something, listening to something, reading something, and all of that is great and cute, right? But I do think we do get to a certain. We should actually like. Sometimes we try to distract ourselves so much that because we don't want to deal with ourselves, right? So as a result, you're always watching something, you're always listening to something, you're always hearing people talk, you don't have the time to sit with yourself and say, what am I doing, or who am I, or was I wrong in certain situations?
reflecting.
Or reflect to say, what are my strengths and weaknesses actually?
And I think we underestimate the power of reflection
That's amazing.
Yeah.
for the growth of our soul.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, like it was in 2020 when I sat down, right, and said and wrote the stuff that waste my time,
What are they?
right?
Top two.
No, top two. No, I won't say. I don't remember the list, but I remember writing down the fact that like I'm forever on social media,
What a waste of
and
time.
this is what I checked, right? This is what I checked, and this blew my mind, right? I went to my Instagram and checked my screen time versus my prayer time. And I was so embarrassed. I was like, damn, are we doing this now? Right?
why?
Or your Twitter, not just in like just go to your Instagram. Not Twitter, not everything, but the stuff that you waste time on, not trying to like
Deal
sit
with
with yourself. So it's very important. I feel like it's very isolation in that regard, right? I'm not saying in all like relationships are important, like, but sometimes it's okay to sit down and think with yourself and say, why am I feeling this way? Why am I feeling disappointed in God? Why am I feeling disappointed? Why am I disappointed in the people that I felt should have come through for me a certain way, right?
Yeah.
Why am I disappointed? Why do I feel the way I'm feeling, right? So, for example, if someone does like something bad to me, right? I normally sit down and say, why am I feeling this? Why am I angry at the fact that
This person did
to me?
this, yeah.
Yeah. So you can't do all of that if you're distracted, right? So we must because I think all of these things that I've spoken about, they're a form of entertainment, right? But if you are distracted all the time, you don't have time to sit with yourself. So because other people, your friends, especially the people that are close to you, will say, we feel like you're a little, not little, okay, now, yeah, but we like, you are an inconsiderate person, right? If you are not self-aware, the first thing you're going to do is to want to defend, right?
Yeah.
And say, but if the people that you don't spend time with you, the people around you spend time with you, so they get to see that you're on some BS actually, right?
Yeah.
But so I think isolation in that regard is important.
Yeah.
But isolation is also problematic because I think what isolation does is that it makes you self-reliant to a certain degree. And I'm not saying self-reliancy like is wrong in any, but I feel like if like it teaches you, it makes you, and self-reliance is a touch of arrogance because you feel like you don't need people.
Yeah.
And then
I was about to say like it's very dangerous.
You feel like you don't need people, and then now because it's been with you long enough, you gonna start feeling, especially if you can do stuff, right? If you are very an independent person who's always doing stuff for
I'm
themselves,
fine.
it might overlap into your relationship with God.
Sure.
To feel like if you don't
How does that look like, though?
what
You said it might overlap into your relationship with God, right? How does that look like?
you because you are used to taking stuff into your matters into your own hands, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing to a certain degree, right? But because you're not used to asking for help, it's gonna be a little difficult to ask for help from God.
For me, it's different. I don't think it would shake me from God, but from other people, you're absolutely right. It's such a dangerous place to be. You understand what
I
I'm
hear
saying?
you. And I also hear what you're saying, and I'm playing devil's advocate right now. yesterday we had prayer. Last night we had prayer, and one of the things I prayed about, the scripture that says that if my people would
Humble themselves
would
and
humble
pray.
themselves, right? In First Peter, and I think I've shared this before.
Go there. Go there. Because it's going to come back to what I'm saying, but go there.
The Bible says, right, and I've touched on this, and this is me paraphrasing. The Bible encourages us in First Peter to not be anxious, right? But when you look at the verse before that verse that encourages us not to be anxious, it also encourages us to humble ourselves. So if God is going to move in our lives, right, humility needs to be present. And to your point, right, when you said it might sort of like get into
Yeah. Because the verse after those verses is
Yeah.
casting your cares unto the
yes,
Lord, right?
cast your cares
So
unto the Lord.
casting your cares and asking for help from God is a form of humility.
Yes. And that's what I was praying about yesterday, that God, because remember on the screen, one of the things that was put on the screen was that we need to get to a point where we walk in our assignment.
Yeah.
But you won't walk in your assignment when pride is at the center of your life.
Can't.
Right? Because here's what humility does. Humility decreases you, right? So that God can increase. Now, if you don't humble yourself, it means you don't get to a point where you decrease. And so you start thinking that you are like this with God. And so I can understand where you're coming from. You start thinking like, although it's not direct, it may be something that's oblivious, right? But you start thinking that you are like this with God. And certain things where you need to rely on God for, like it's not even a thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
just operate in your own strength, your own power.
prayer
And it's just
life-
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Your prayer life starts becoming whack also because you feel like everything that you have is you gave it to yourself, right? And humility is not humility is knowing is not denying what God gave you. Is reminding yourself that He's the one that God He's
the one that gave
It's
it
not
to you.
denying your blessings. That's what I mean. But is remembering that He's the one that gave you what you have, right? So that's what I mean by I understand. Like you won't get necessarily removed to a certain degree because God never leaves us nor forsakes us or whatever. But I think it becomes a little difficult if you are not, I won't say self-sufficient because that's also not a bad thing to a certain degree. But if you feel like all that you are, I'm not saying people sometimes we tend to forget, right, where these blessings came from or where the strength to do what you do comes from. Therefore, you operate in your gifting or in your anointing so much that you feel like I'm doing this without the help of God, so I'm not going to help. I'm not going to ask. And when you didn't feel so great, when you didn't feel so grand, you are at the foot of the cross saying, if you don't help me, I'm going to fall apart or I'm not going to be able to do this. But now that you've been operating in your gifting so smoothly, you feel like you're the only one that. So that's what I mean. Like when I say when you are so isolated to a point where you feel like, I can do this by myself, actually. I've been doing this by myself and nobody has helped me. Or then maybe you need to then ask God for people that can help you because you can't get, even in the Bible, bruh, from the start to the finish, none of them did everything by themselves. None of them. None of them.
There's never self-reliance.
Yeah, the disciples were sent 2 by 2.
Yeah.
Right? To do what they needed to do. So, yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah?
So, on isolation, I just want to throw a thorn into the conversation, and it might bite me, but it's fine. I'm covered. For someone who's constantly wanting to be in relationships, though they see that it's not working out, but you constantly want to be in relationships.
Oh my God.
You got too much love, man.
It's not too much love. Is it too
No,
much love
Chicken,
heavy?
people like that have too much love. Sometimes you have. You see,
Heavy's
for
funny.
me, like I was saying, why I wanted them to go first because isolation is beautiful, but it's also dangerous. You understand what I'm saying? Like too much of something that's too good, because too much of it can lead you to nonsense. Like you're saying, you get detached from understanding that everything begins and will forever end with God. You think you can sustain yourself to a certain level because you've been doing it for such a long time, because your aloneness, being isolated from everything and being in that space whereby you feel like you have control, when it takes over, it's terribly frightening. You understand? Same thing with relationships. I know for a fact, and you know, it takes me a while for me to actually say, okay, fine, this is my girlfriend. It takes me a minute, a very long time. You understand? It takes me a long time for me to say, okay, fine, this is my girlfriend. What about the kid? Joelle, Nahana, I love you. It's gonna take me another minute. You understand?
But what does that have to do with isolation?
What I'm saying, I'm
that-
getting there, bro.
Okay.
Work with me, baby. Work with me. Come on now. So I am so used to my space as well. Like being isolated and not wanting to share myself with another person. Also, it's quite, you're not taking too much of your own time, too much of being isolated and being in your own corner is also quite
problematic.
It's problematic. You understand? Because allowing people in your space as well, it's gonna be a problem. Now I have to. I love, but Joel, I'm so used to being isolated. You understand? I wanna be in these relationships, but I'm so used to being alone. I wanna do my own thing all the time.
Is there a difference between isolation and space and wanting space?
There is.
What is the difference?
I think isolation. Oh yeah, okay. Isolation is when you distance yourself from people to your own detriment.
Yeah.
Right. Space is
Healthy.
I need to take care of myself so that I can be my best version when I'm with people.
Got you.
Of course.
Right. So that's the difference. Right. So for some people that's a Saturday. They don't want to do anything. Leave me alone. I'm not answering texts because I'm taking care of the vessel that you're going to draw from.
Yeah.
The people that I'm going to draw from, whether it's in the workplace, whether it's your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your friends, your family, whatever, because we are different people to different people, right? You are a boyfriend to your girlfriend, you are a friend, you are a colleague, you are whatnot. So you have to take care of all of those, right? Because if you don't take care of all those areas which form one vessel, then you're not going to have enough for other people.
Got you.
So that's the difference between isolation and space.
And space.
With regards to the question that you asked, I think I don't know. It depends. I think it's not a one size fits all type of thing,
Yeah.
but it's important to take time out. I feel to say when you assess the whole. Maybe let's say you just come out of a relationship, for example, right? To assess, okay, to say, especially if you were wronged, in the whole situation, to say, I understand that they did me dirty, but we're in the relationship. Not that what you did contributed to or forced them to do what because their responsibility is to be loyal to you. But I'm saying it's important to self-reflect at some point to say, okay, sharp. I was done wrong, but I was in the whole relationship. I was bad in this. They complained about this, that, and the third. So I feel like you can't be so perfect that you're
never wrong.
That you're never wrong.
Yeah.
So also is to make sure that you don't take whatever the bad traits that you had in the past relationships to the next one.
Yeah.
Right. So you heal. For other people just jump and the next relationship is very successful.
I once heard a saying that God will supernaturally sabotage any relationship you try and get into, especially in your season of isolation. That what we deem as loneliness is actually God trying to bless us.
Like what, in a self-building type of way.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Askis to cut you off, but I think if God wants to do a work in you, sometimes the relationship is distraction.
Yep.
Distraction,
I know
it's
that.
a distraction, no, not distraction. Wow, which will lead to distraction.
It's both, actually.
But get distraction. It just distracts you because when you are, let's say you are single, right?
Yeah.
I was before I got into a relationship that I'm in now. Oof. Before I got into the relationship that I'm in now, I was single for good, I think 4 to 5 years. I
Yeah.
think.
Yo.
Which is cool, dog. You get to sit with yourself because you have no one entertaining you,
That's
or you are
exactly
not
what I'm
entertaining
saying.
anybody.
You're fine.
Right? You are cool. Hey, it's cool, but you get to sit with yourself and say, okay. Also, you get to do a work in you. You are responsible for some self development, right? And not for some, for most of it or whatever. You are responsible for your own self development. But also, God, there's a work that God does in you, that when you're single, that a relationship won't distract.
Yeah.
When you are in a
Self-building.
relationship.
Yeah, it's so
because
important.
you should be able to handle certain things
Alone.
alone, and you should be able to know yourself when you are hungry, when you are mad, when you feel cheated. And I'm not talking about relationships, like even when you feel cheated at work, or when you feel betrayed, or when you feel sad, or when you're just not in the mood, right? You can't wait to be told that you are not a morning
You
person.
absolutely cannot. You
Right?
have to know it yourself.
You need to know. You cannot be wait to be told. And I'm not saying that other relationships sometimes are. I hope I'm not talking too long.
No,
Some relationships will be a mirror, because some things you won't notice until someone tells you that you are that thing, right? But some things are very important for you to know, that I don't talk in the morning, so that I don't snap at you, so that I can tell you when I'm in a relationship or when I'm with your friend that, you know what, dog, I don't want to talk until Bomateng. You understand? Or I don't talk until I've had coffee.
Yeah.
Things like that, right?
You
So
like
I'm
that?
moody.
Do you not talk until 10 o'clock? Have
No,
you-
I'm not.
Me, I was in it just a couple of days back because I didn't say a couple of
And
words.
I'm the type of guy who will call you at 6 o'clock. So I don't know how you guys like. deal
No,
with
that's
me.
fine. I'll be able to answer you. Actually,
Hey, man, I read
funny
you
enough,
talk.
no, it's not like I don't
Slow
have the
down.
capacity. Askies, it's not like I don't have the capacity to tend to your need at any point that you need it, right? But in the morning, I would just genuinely like to just wake up and keep quiet. I don't play music anymore. I just keep quiet, go shower, go to work. The first word I would say probably is when I get to work and talk to people.
Yeah.
But genuinely, I've realized that I don't want to talk, right?
You know, when it comes to that whole, let's just take that scenario right there. I like that because it was a conversation I was having just a couple of days back. The relationships are a two-way street. We all believe in that. Sometimes, of course, you're going through a lot. Sometimes, you know, our mornings. Sometimes you're gonna have an early morning, and it's going. So I can't multitask. I've never been good at it. So sometimes, yeah, like Ita, sharp with it, and then I'll probably say something like, "I'll come call you back," and then I never call back. You understand? It happens.
problem with that.
You understand what I'm saying? It
My
happens.
brother is gonna watch this. He knows that I have a problem with
Thank God you're on the safe side now. We all go through it. So it's gone. You're in the back of my mind now. Not in a bad way, but because I'm trying to combat what's in front of me and it's messing my mind up. You understand?
Yeah.
If you don't step up and say, okay, fine, Mutuna has been gone for too long, let me holler. It's also it's a two-way street. We have to make sure that, because I know myself, and I'll make sure that I announce myself that way. Look, this is what's going to happen. There are going to be times whereby I don't want to say AWOL, but actually I go absent without leave because of life being life, and I'm busy 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not doing anything stupid, but I'm just distracted a lot because of the type of work we get into. Two-way street, you jump in. You holler, are you fine? Are you good? Azan, sorry, I didn't call back, and we just keep it moving.
Yeah.
Because I know myself. But it always boils down to that one thing.
Yeah.
If you don't know the type of person you are alone, and you want to learn that person with somebody else,
Yeah.
oh, look, bora, chief.
Yeah.
Skara bora. You understand?
you're not gonna be anybody
Don't boss.
outside your relationship.
Exactly.
I feel
Do not boss.
now you become chokiwa mama.
Speaking of
Yeah, Bora.
you being like single for about 5 years, and then you got into a relationship. There's a saying that God sends help and not company. Has that been evident in your relationship?
Yeah.
Please say that again.
God sends help
And not come.
and not company. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
I don't-
often we say, I want someone who's going to complete me. But remember, alone you are a whole, right? So already you are complete. But also in the same breath, only you can complete yourself. No external figure can come and complete me.
Yeah.
Only I can, complete myself.
So ask the question again.
So you've been single 5
Yeah.
years. You get into a relationship right now. The saying that God does not, God sends help and not company. Has that been evident in your life
Yeah. I think
with the relationship that you're in?
yeah, it has been. Jeez, it has been. Okay, let me put it out there, right? Like that. I'm dating a very a very smart person.
And just by the way, I'm gonna give nuggets. So about 5 of them.
What?
And
What, chicken
so,
nuggets?
so no.
I'm joking.
Because he's eating.
Indicators.
Because he's eating.
Indicators of the right person. When you have the right person in your life, what are the indicators of that person? Yeah.
Anyway, okay, like I'm dating a very smart person. And not only are they smart, but they're very resourceful. And then maybe this is a very wrong word to use in the modern world that we're in, right? Like I don't have a bystander, right? If I'm going through it.
Of course.
Right? So we started dating, and then I went through a very difficult season in my life, like a very difficult it wasn't even okay. Season depends on how you define season, right? But a very difficult time in my life where I felt like, damn, it's going south, right? I'm telling you, if they weren't there, and not just to say, oh, it's gonna be okay. No. But help with whatever that I was going through at that time, right? So I think
Somebody that's hands-on, basically.
yeah, because I'm a very hands-on person, so I would expect that from the person that I'm in a relationship with, right? And then some people might say, it's not fair, but it just me.
It's your
That's just my
preference,
preference.
yeah.
If we won't play that game, that's my preference. So I think I have received a lot of they also my relationship has, like I've said, has played a role of a mirror in my life that showed me certain things about myself that I didn't know, right? That are problematic, right? Like for example, right? Like I love, like when I get home, I just be taking off stuff and I can leave my shoes where I left them, right? And then sometimes it takes someone saying, just pick up your stuff, dog, right? But that's just like an example. But in the grand scheme of stuff, she has helped me a lot and I can attest to that statement. She's not company. Well, although she keeps her home,
That's beautiful. I love that.
but she has helped me a lot, bruh. Like there's
love
there's seasons that I wouldn't have gone through had she not been there
Nice.
properly. My move to Joburg, everything. Had she not been there, I think my fast track to move into Joburg might not have happened
If she wasn't there.
if she wasn't there. I've always wanted to come here, but she was a catalyst in me moving and moving to a better position in my life. Like I'll always be grateful for that. So
That's beautiful, dude. So this is the entire
this is some cute-ish.
this is the entire quote. It says that God will never ever send us company. That's why you'll find yourself agitated when you're with someone who is not for you. He'll send you help instead. By help, we mean that he'll send you someone whose values align with your needs. He'll send you someone who complements you, not someone who completes you. Only you can complete yourself. He'll send you someone who'll push you closer to him and someone who'll advance your life, life assignment or task. So when we talk about like 5 indicators, right, of the right person, we're talking about somebody who values, or rather whose values align with your needs, number 1. Somebody who complements you, right, not complete you. Someone who pushes you to God, not further away. Because we've seen that in relationships whereby someone, is so connected to God, right, has such a great relationship with God. And then a girl or a guy comes in the picture and it's just like everything just goes south.
That is bad.
you know, it just goes south. I've had such experiences, often
You-
with
but
friends.
I love him. Yo, but I love him.
But I love him.
Yo,
It's like,
but
hey,
I love
Emanya,
him.
God loves you more. And you're supposed to love God more.
Yo.
They advance your assignment, and then listen to this. They come by revelation, not by manipulation. They come by revelation, not by manipulation. So often there's spiritual or emotional manipulation. So when we talk about, like, you've probably heard this before, when especially a brother in church would come to a girl or a sister in church and say, hey, God spoke to me about you.
Kolori.
Yeah. You know, God revealed you in my dream.
Kolori.
You know, that's spiritual manipulation, just by the way. You know, so I like what you said, bro, that those seasons you were not going to be able to.
Hey, has she not been there?
Yeah.
It would have been chaos, huh?
Yo.
Wow, that's so powerful, man.
So,
Can you attest to that, bro? Do you relate to that?
In a way, like there's certain things you feel in your life that you wouldn't have been here if it wasn't for a certain person. You wouldn't be where you are now. You wouldn't be thinking the way you are because of the way you are. Because knowing yourself, or you know me, baby. You understand?
Yeah.
And there's literally things I wouldn't be doing now if it wasn't for a certain person in my life. You understand?
you have a certain person in your life.
Let's keep it here, though. We're fine. Don't worry about it.
Sorry, though.
But
Man, I really love this guy. This is beautiful.
So it's
cute.
it's
Yes.
I mean, okay, you wanna call it that, but it's fun. It's you know, it's beautiful, and I won't shake that for one bit, because it's beautiful. It's a beautiful part of growth, a part we absolutely need to make sure that we level up. There's this thing I've been going through lately. It's called leveling up. You understand? Because I remember I was telling you after 2019 was crazy, it was bad. And then I had to tap into different levels of my life. You understand? I had to tap into the gratitude level.
Yeah.
For it to open up the doors to every single thing else. You understand? After you open up that level, there's another level. You understand? Now we have to start receiving. You understand? And we receive from different angles, because with gratitude comes giving, and the more you're grateful, the more you'll get. You understand? That's it's you can't shake that off. You will try and say, I don't want it, but no, really, man.
Yeah.
It's yours. You understand? So it's part of leveling up, allowing yourself to be grateful for this person. This person is just gonna keep pouring into your pot, because, like you're saying, how much we feel. You understand? This person is here for a certain reason. You don't just get this person randomly. You understand?
It's not company.
It's not company.
It's help.
You understand? It's help. This person is here in your life because you need this person now, not because you like this person. It's not about you. You know, sometimes we think things are about us.
I need to like you. I need to like you.
Bro, so
Listen.
now I'm assuming that the person you have right now is the right pick.
Yes. Yes.
I'm gonna flip the script.
Yeah.
The devil doesn't like seeing good things.
Of course.
Yeah.
So what have you seen in your relationship that you think he's tried to destroy? Because I think we underestimate how deeply and intensely involved the devil is in relationships.
Working overtime, in fact.
And I think often he succeeds in his mission because I don't think a lot of people actually trust God with their relationships.
I agree.
Like you want to trust God with this, that, and the other, but like with relationships, you're like, nah,
I got this.
God and manyan, self-sufficient.
Jeez, that's a tough one. I think it's in how we communicate.
Yeah.
Right. Because we once came to a conclusion, and it's not a. It depends on how people see it, right? We said the things that we fight about, you and I, or that we were like when we get like to intense arguments about stuff, is normally like it's not what was said more than it is how it was said.
So it's the tone.
So it's the tone. So I imagine two strong people, right? Like not strong. Yeah, it's strong. people who are like who know what they talk, who feel like I know what I'm talking about, or would like, oh, I'm this way or I'm that way, or I'm just set in what I believe and stuff like that. So I think the devil has used how we communicate. Wabon. I'm very. A lot of people would say I'm very articulate. Wabon. Like I can say a whole bunch of stuff, right, a certain way, right. So that in itself can be like a good thing because then I can communicate great, right? But I've noticed how problematic that could be because you can talk yourself out of BS, even the stuff that you do that are problematic, right? The stuff that you can talk yourself out of it. But I have a friend like that who can talk himself out of everything. So I've seen that sometimes the way in which we communicate, the way in which we talk, because my girl is a very strong person, like you won't do certain stuff to me. So I'd be like, okay, but you can't expect me to, like, what can I make an example of? But okay, I can't be, yeah, okay, yo, this is a lot. Sorry, babe. The way in which we the more you spend time with your girl, especially at each other's spots or whatever, you notice that, man, there's a way in which you wash the dishes and the way I wash the dishes, but I want my dishes to be done that way.
Can I just chip in real quick there?
Yeah.
Your girl, does she let the dishes dry?
Oh, so all the girls are like that. Sorry, babe. Like, I apologize. This is
I'll
going
let
to be
the
a
dishes
lot.
dry. I mean,
This is going to be a lot. But anyway,
the class of Ramadijan, I don't know.
Like, wash the dishes, dry
let them dry, and then take them to put them in the cupboard once they dry. They don't wipe them.
No, I wipe them.
I don't wipe
Yeah,
them.
I'm saying girls don't wipe them.
Yeah, Heavy doesn't wipe
I
them.
don't wipe them as
No,
well.
you're part of the problem. So,
No, you're very problematic.
Why do we
so my
wipe
thing
them?
is,
I don't
so
understand.
it's in things like that where I feel, and this is what I said to her. I said, if we can really sit down, like a whole bunch of problems can be sorted out by communication, right? If we can sit down and say, okay, now I wash the dishes this way, and you wash the dishes that way, and you give reasons as to why you do that, and then we find a common, like fights can be reduced by just communicating. So this is what a friend of mine did. I don't mean to talk a lot longer, but this is with how I can combat what the devil's trying to do to my relationship, whatever, is to have, he calls them like check-ins, to say,
Okay.
what have I done that I might have been oblivious about, or what am I not giving you, or what did I give you before, or the kind of, who are you now that I'm not tending to, right? So I think yeah, I think I've seen it at play where you see that, man, if we had addressed this properly, then I feel like also niggas to a certain degree also, because to a certain degree there's a social standard that we expect, like we expect it to be a certain way, we expect it to be strong, whatever. It becomes a little difficult to communicate things to your girlfriend, like I want things to be done this way, and you expect them to get it also, right? Which is problematic. And because if you could just tell,
It's close to impossible. Like, you can't.
yeah. So I think because we expect it to be strong, we don't want to be weak, right? And I think that has been used as well, where I feel like I always have to show up as the scorer in the relationship, where my girl just sees strength all the time. So you are scared to show your weakness, and this is the person that you're trying to live your whole life with. So I think that's just that, how we talk to each other. But let me ask you, how? Like, what have you?
Girls.
What has been that?
Girls.
Oh wait,
Girls.
no, he's not saying anything. What do you mean, girls? Oh, girls holler at you. Hey, no.
Yes, that's the
Niggas
attack.
live life.
That's just like there's people who resurface.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah, like who just like, yo,
Hey, stranger.
hey stranger. And I'm just like, yo, what's
What are you
going on?
Yeah.
What's going on? I'm like, no, I'm married. I'm getting married. That's
That's
my
that's
line now.
that's the beauty of speaking your truth.
and
You know what I'm
you
saying?
realize that it's actually the devil, because once that happens, the person does not view your statuses anymore, stories on Instagram, because
gone.
you don't have their number or anything like that. But my Instagram is not private, right?
Yeah.
So because of the line of work that I do, I'm not private.
I just need to see what you're doing.
But yeah, you realize that when they start with the shandies,
yeah.
dude, you see them on your stories. You see that they viewed your story, each and every story they view. That time they're not following you.
Yeah?
They're not following you.
Nah,
You guys are
people
not following
busy.
each other.
People have time.
No. When you say Echo, disappear, you don't see them any. That's when you realize, oh no, man, this is an attack. You know, Rometswe.
When I get test, then we'll go with them when I
Been
get
sent when.
What go saying?
You know what I mean? So that's it. That's woman.
One other thing, and I hope I'm not being too
Women and men.
open.
Put it that way.
I think it became like what I've seen happen in my relationship, which is I hope I'm not talking a little too much.
Speak, brother.
It's an us. It's not an us before most of the stuff because also I'm dating someone who had been alone for like a long time also, right? We had not been in a relationship for a long time. Are we okay there?
Keep going.
Yeah. Because I dated someone like that, now I'm distracted a bit.
Go for it. Speak too heavy.
Yeah. So my thing is like I had noticed that we're not a team to a certain degree. We're not approaching stuff as a team.
With
We
this
are
person.
doing it. We are doing it in like it's a me versus you thing.
Yeah.
It's not an us versus it thing, right? And I think the more if we can operate as a team, then it's easy to combat stuff. It's easy to do stuff. Like now, if we do things as a team, we're on the same side,
Facts.
right? Like we're on the same side. So whatever I do or whatever that I'm going to say is not my intention is not to hurt you, right? I don't do any or whatever I'm going to say. I don't say what I'm going to say with the intention to hurt you.
Yeah, to hurt you in any
No matter
way.
how much you hurt me, though, right? Because that's the art of forgiveness to a certain degree, I guess. Like if you doing something to me and I realize you did something to me, I don't think it's productive for the sake of the relationship to try to make you feel the same thing also.
But another major important force in all of this is one thing we always come back down to: communication. For us to get it right, it's all through communication. For us to be that team and to move as one, if we don't know what we are working on, if we're not communicating about what the nonsense is happening in our life is, how can we be a team? So it's like if there's a breakdown on communication in any way, being that team, my man.
So tit for tat, you say? You don't
Tit for
believe
tat
that?
is problematic, and it wasn't really a tit for tat thing, but it was a changing each other's minds, not each other's minds, like changing the mindset of me versus you to us versus it type of thing, right? It was a
So
problem.
it's not you guys fighting. You guys are fighting this, not each other.
It's a if I raise
Lovely. I like that.
Also that's
It's too much. You're about to give us too much now.
no. It's cool, dog. Like I think it's important maybe in relationships to, even in friendships, dog, to say if I'm saying you did something inconsiderate,
Yeah.
right? I'm not saying you are inconsiderate. I'm saying you did something.
So you're labeling the act, not the
not
person.
that you're not attaching the act to the identity.
That is emotional intelligence, dude. That's also, I believe, social intelligence. You know, honestly,
Okay.
that not everyone has that.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Being
Like, to
able
be
to,
able
like,
to
read the room,
label-
maybe, you know?
Be able to label an act and not the person.
Yeah,
Because
very
often
important.
we label the person.
Yeah.
and not the act. So it's important that you separate the two and say, if it that which you are doing
It's
is
nonsense.
foolish.
Yeah.
Not that
you are foolish.
Are foolish,
Right? Yeah.
but your actions are foolish. Yeah.
So I had that struggle also, to be told that if you are if like what she would say, pick up your socks. Like in my head I heard Ufeil. Which is not what was happening, bro. Like she was just saying, pick up after yourself, dog, or like tidy up. Like you are
That's so
saying,
funny,
like,
dude.
yeah, you understand what I'm saying. And generally, I don't think I'm a very filthy person. Or like,
Yeah, but generally we just hear what we want to hear.
you understand?
I mean, you look at Martha and Mary. Martha sends a messenger to Jesus to say the one you love is not well. The message Jesus says to the messenger, tell these people that it will not end in death.
Yeah, this sickness is not unto death.
Right?
Yeah.
He didn't say, no, your person is not gonna die, or your brother's not gonna die, or his sickness is not gonna get worse, or anything like that. He said, this is not gonna end in death. So the final thing won't be death. Then the guy dies, Lazarus dies, right? And you miss out on an opportunity to praise Jesus because you heard what you heard.
Aha.
You know what I mean? So I feel like a lot is lost in translation because we are listening but we're not hearing.
Yes. Yes.
We are listening but we're not hearing.
Yeah.
And I think that's a thing.
Yeah.
That's a thing in a lot of relationships where people listen but they don't hear what is being said. So like you said, when your girl said, pick up your socks, in your head you heard,
Kifeili.
you're filthy.
You understand? And that's not what.
And that was not the
what
case.
But
It's
Heavy?
very interesting.
Do you want to say anything?
No. I'm listening. I'm just taking it in.
Yeah.
So that's just like the challenges that I saw in my relationships in my relationship in general. But yeah, some things will be avoided if you just know yourself also.
Yeah. Okay. Let's wrap it up, man.
I will.
Dude, I'd really love to do a part 2 of you, because I feel like there's a lot to explore.
We really just hit the surface because it can go a lot deeper than this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's so much to contribute still from your end.
We will.
So I'd really love to do a part 2. Any last remarks that you want to make? Anything
You
really?
wanna start?
No, you can go for it.
Dang. Oh, also, firstly, in my remarks, I would just like to thank you guys for the invite.
Away, brother.
Yeah, I also feel like we just hit the surface, but it was good discomfort. It was
Getting out of your comfort
because I
zone is
consume a whole
beautiful.
lot of pods, but I didn't think I'd see myself in a
Sitting in one.
yeah. So that's the first one. Secondly, I think with touching on everything, just know yourself. But in from a Christian point of view, right? I know you have a big audience. You have Christians and maybe people who don't believe in God and whatever. But from a Christian point of view, you won't know yourself until you make a decision to know God. Not just to know about God, because God, the more you know, you pursue God, the more God shows you who you are, right? I think that's very important, so that when people tell you you are too what, it doesn't become it doesn't shake you, because things do shake you. And I think twos I don't mean to go a little longer than I should, but if twos are touch you when it comes from people you didn't expect them to come from, right? So it's also important to see people for who they are and check the intention behind what they're saying around their two. To say, if they say I'm too, what were you trying to say?
One lawyer.
No. So there's that, right? No, not there's that as in Honalbulu. Hey, man. So, but I think it's also important to know. It's important to know to pursue God, and then God can tell you who you are, and then you will you always, bruh, act in a way that's consistent with how you see yourself. Always. You should check people who say they are procrastinators. They procrastinate, right? And I'm not saying that's not part of self-awareness, but if you're not committed to changing that part of your life, it becomes who you are, and then you just become this because you think you're that.
Yeah.
Right? You just become a serial procrastinator because I just procrastinate. Then you start becoming
That
an
becomes
anxious
your
person.
brand.
It becomes your brand, right? So, yeah, it's very important to know yourself, and then do what you have to do to make sure that you don't. Sometimes it's not necessary to cut people off.
Yeah.
especially certain people, especially like people will fall, will like falter, will make like a lot of mistakes regarding how they label you or how they see you and stuff like that. So sometimes when people say stuff about you like, oh, you're too ambitious, sometimes like just judge what they said, not them as people. Don't just be too quick to cut them off, because you might be cutting off someone who's like very important in your life, right? They just had a bad day.
Yeah.
Right? Or like they just said something very stupid. So there's that. I don't know if I'm missing anything. But yeah, thank you guys. This is a big platform, or it's gonna be like a big platform. So thank you guys for this is a dope thing to do, guys, to talk about anything and everything. And I hope everybody enjoys each and every episode that you guys have done, and that the part 2 that we might do soon, or that we are going to do soon.
Not might. We definitely doing it.
Slav.
Yeah.
Heavy.
Closing it off. Look, one thing's for sure: gratitude always. Put you in a good space. Gratitude will make sure that so many doors open up for you. But another thing that's always so important, and I really just wake up and want to feel like this all the time: you belong to the room. Just belong to the room. Don't question yourself too much. Don't question too many things. Just communicate with the people you need to be communicating with.
Yeah.
Get out of your comfort zone. Don't be too isolated, because too much of that as well. It's just too much. You understand? So you belong to the room. Become part of the room. Become part of everybody. Become part of your surroundings, and be. You know, one thing I've learned recently, and I learned this from my brother. He says, "Look, a lot of things are happening in your life. You're trying to change a lot, and I understand that, but you're thinking too much. Don't think too much. Be here. You understand? If I'm here with my dogs, if I'm here with Tabang, if I'm here with you, I have to be here. You understand? If I'm now driving home, let me drive home and be in that space whereby I'm going home. When I'm home, I'm with my family, I'm with the kids, I am there. You understand what I'm saying? It's important to be in a space so that you give your full concentration to the space. If you're not in the room, you'll never be part of the room. It's as simple as that. Pale and that.
I like that. Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining.
Hey, what are your
Yes,
final
sir.
thoughts? Hey, this guy.
Final thoughts. Remember, talk remains talk until it's accompanied by action.
Come on, boy.
I'm constantly reminded of this every time I have to shoot this podcast. That I have to put, action behind everything that we want to achieve. Just keep showing love to this platform. Subscribe, tell your friends about it, your family about it, your colleagues as well, your friends, right? Just tell your world about this platform, because I really believe that it will help you get to know yourself a little better. Until next time, cheers.
Peace out.
Sure.